Hey friends, welcome back to Big Nate's Whiskey Lounge. I'm Corson Nate, and tonight I'm going to do a double header again. This is going to be two bottles from the same line that I'm going to put head to head. Now technically there are 3 bottles in this line. I just found that out today doing some research, but I don't have the third bottle, and it appears that I have not even seen it in the wild at all or even heard anybody talk about it. So I'll mention it real briefly and then we'll move on. But we are going to do the Uncle Nearest line. So we have Uncle Nearest 1884 and we have Uncle Nearest 1856. 1884, 1856. This is the small batch. This is the premium. There is a color difference. You can even see it. Well, I'm behind this bottle, but if you were here, if you were at my angle, there's a definite color difference. This is 93 proof and this is 100 proof. The other bottle that's apparently in their line is called 1920 and it is a single barrel. But I've never seen that. I didn't even know that it existed till today. But this is Tennessee whiskey. It is unknown where it is distilled. Might be Dickel, might be Jack Daniels, might be Brown-Forman. We just don't know. But we just know that it is Tennessee whiskey. And there's kind of a neat story behind Uncle Nearest. Uncle Nearest, whose legal name was Nathan Green, Uncle Nearest Green, Nathan Green. This was whiskey inspired by him. He was a slave back in the 1800s, and he actually taught Jack Daniels how to distill. And while there is quite a bit of marketing involved in this whiskey and with the story behind it, there is a little bit of credit supposedly given to Uncle Nearest for the Lincoln County process, which is the charcoal filtration system, which mellows out whiskey and gives it the specific flavor that Tennessee whiskey is known for. And so that kind of cool history. If you go to Uncle Nearest, the Uncle Nearest website, they have a really, I'm not gonna lie, it is a massive amount of marketing in the video, but it's actually a very interesting video. And it got my attention. It's really cool. Obviously, being into whiskey, you know that there's a lot of it's just marketing. And as a whiskey nerd, I just care about what's in the glass mostly. But it is a cool story. A little bit of a gripe with both of these whiskeys is though they're not age stated and they don't say straight. So the Uncle Nearest 1856, the premium one, is said to be between 8 and 14-year-old barrels. There is no age statement on this one, the small batch, at all. However, neither one of them say straight. So that's a little frustrating to me. Maybe this one is not straight, and that's okay. There's no age statement on it at all. This one, even though there's not an age statement on it, in doing research, it says that it's 8 to 14, and there's no age, and it doesn't say straight. But we're gonna give them their fair shot. They're relatively cheaper bottles. I forget how much I paid. I think the 1884 is around $40, and I think the 1856 is maybe around 60. I honestly don't know. I don't remember. I bought them quite a bit ago. But we're gonna give these a shot. Today I'm gonna be shooting quite a few videos, but I want to keep my intake at I want to monitor it a little bit. So I'm actually gonna use my jigger and just only pour 1 ounce samples of this. What I do kind of like about this, and it's on both of these bottles, is right here there is this circle with the 3 stars on it. Saw it on the 1856 or on the 1884. Here's the 1856. That logo is really cool. I don't know what it means or anything. However, as a hockey fan, you can see I'm wearing a hoodie for a hockey team. The Nashville Predators have this as one of their alternate logos. With that circle with the 3 stars in it. So I don't know what it means. Should have done a little bit of research. I just thought that was really cool. So let's do the 1884 first because it is the cheaper one, supposedly younger. So let's get that in here. I'm gonna nose that while I rinse out my jigger. Wow. I can't do both at once, but we're gonna rinse that out. Very light on the nose. Now it's 93 proof, so it's not nothing. It's 46.5% ABV. I'll be honest with you, I've not drank enough Tennessee whiskey to necessarily distinguish between bourbon and not Tennessee whiskey. And obviously they're technically both the same with the distinction of the charcoal mellowing process. I do like that a lot. Kind of fruity and floral on the nose. A touch of ethanol, kind of. Very light in color. Maybe you can see that a little better there. I'll try to not manipulate it at all. Very light in color for an American whiskey. Let's give this a taste. On the taste, it's just okay. It's kind of non-existent. It does give a bit of a hug, you know, down. But as far as taste goes, there's not much to it. Okay, I am on the taste getting a little bit more charcoal mellowiness that is indicative of Tennessee. This nose, it wasn't there really there. The palate, it is. It's not bad. I probably don't know if I'd ever buy a bottle of the 1884 again, but it's nice to have. I wouldn't mind it being a mixer. I don't know if I would go for it neat again. Yeah, it's just okay. It's just okay. I'm gonna finish off this ounce and then I'm gonna pour. All right. There's the water from washing out the jigger. I'm gonna wash this cup out. And here's the 1856. Oop, almost forgot. Hope you guys enjoy these videos. Sorry, I realized that in so doing this, at least right now, I'm catching a lot of dead air. I apologize about that. I will try to fix that, or at least be better, film more content. So there's definitely a bit of a color difference, definitely more coppery kind of, but a light copper. I'm gonna try to get, yeah, definitely a little bit darker. To be honest with you, actually, once it's poured, it's very similar. Now, the label on the 1884 is white, and the label on the 1856 is like a dark blue or black, and then like maroon around the edges. So it could be distinct. It could be throwing it off because of that. I'm not quite sure. Now it's 7 proof different, so we're looking at 50%, so it's 3.5% more alcohol. Honestly, it has less of a nose than the 84 does. I'm really getting not much other than maybe a little bit of oak. It's kind of, yeah, there's really nothing to it at all. And other than, whew, when I was talking as I was swallowing and the ethanol hit me, even though it wasn't much, it just, the way that my mouth was moving, it just kind of gave me a little bit of, honestly, there's less on the taste too. The 84 had more of a taste. I'm honest with you, I'm very disappointed in these. Story's fantastic, but you could sell a bottle of really cheap whiskey with a fantastic story and move it, you know. I would say that this is for the Jack Daniel's lover. Obviously the story behind it with Uncle Nearest and him training Jack Daniel's how to distill and everything. So this, I think, would appeal to Jack Daniel's lovers. People that love Jack Daniel's know it, but aren't like, I love Jack Daniel's other stuff. So Single Barrel Select, Single Barrel Proof, the 10-year, and I know there's other releases out there that I haven't had my hands on, but we in the whiskey community love Jack Daniel's other stuff besides Old Number 7, this would be for the Old Number 7 fan. The person that is like, yeah, I like Jack Daniel's, I love it, I like sipping it on the rocks, or it's my cocktail. Fantastic, no problem with that. This is meant for them. The story behind it, and the fact that the whiskey honestly doesn't live up to much of a hype. This would be for them. On the second nose, maybe a touch more fruity. And I'm honestly not even picking up enough to give you even specific notes of that fruit. Yeah. All right, that's going to do it for the Uncle Nearest line, the 1884 and the 1856. I was a little disappointed. I was hoping it'd be better. I kind of knew the 84 wouldn't be that great, but I was hoping the 56 would be a lot better. And I'm thoroughly disappointed, to be honest with you. If we were on the podcast and they were doing an episode of Buy Bar Pass, I would say pass. Because I honestly, there's not enough in it for me to sit down and I understand that there are some people that want a whiskey to sit down and sip neat and not think about. I would sit down, sip this, and be disappointed in the fact that I was thinking about how much it disappointed me. So I couldn't just sit down and just drink this without thinking about it, because I also want to kind of appreciate what I'm drinking, and I just can't with this. I'm sorry. But that's going to do it for Uncle Nearest 1884, 1856. Thanks for sticking around on Big Nate's Whiskey Lounge. I'll see you next time. Cheers.